Hey, I'm Trang Fem Nguyen,
And I'm psychic medium Maria Hill.
and today we're going to do another episode where Maria is going to react to paranormal stories on Reddit. To get access to events and more, where you get to talk to us about your experience and stories, don't forget to click down below where you can join our awesome new membership, the Happy Healing Club. Okay. Lack of Sunshine writes, the night my friend took his own life, I had a sudden urge to call him. I'm in Canada and he was in Atlanta at the time. I didn't call because I was out partying with friends and got the news the next day when I woke up. I feel like I missed the chance to save a friend, but my dad said it was him letting me know he was gone and was going to be okay.
Well, that's a real sad one. And it echoes a lot of stories I've heard from people that have come to us for readings. There's quite a phenomenon, I guess it's somewhat common, that can happen when someone you're very close to passes away. Either it's the connection of just feeling like something's wrong, not knowing what it is, but feeling like something's very wrong with them. And then there's the kinds where they actually get a visitation where, they're coming to them and it's this feeling of, everything's going to be okay. And spirit does not operate on the same time we do. So if someone has just passed over in our time, they can be already going what seems like it's before anyone even knows about it and visiting people because their time is moving differently and they've already been processing stuff. So it's quite trippy to think about it.
Little Betanois writes, I had a similar experience after my brother died, where I felt him sit on my side of the bed. It was dark, but I could still make out his outline and felt the bed shift under the weight of someone sitting on it. I was a young teen at the time and it terrified me. So I slid under the covers and said, I love you, but can you please go away? And then he disappeared. When I woke up in the morning, my dad told me that my brother had come to visit him in the night.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. The bed sinking it could be very creepy feeling. If you're having like a visitation from a loved one, you could always set like some boundaries and be like, I love when you visit me, but could you do this instead? You can say like, oh, I get kind of scared. Like, they don't want to scare us. It's never their intention. But inadvertently sometimes that can be the case just because it's kind of like random. So yeah, you can tell them like, what you prefer.
Yeah, and can you ask them to send you signs? Like, for example, like, look, you're kind of creeping me out here, but maybe a sign of like birds, butterflies, or something like that.
Yeah, you could ask for signs. Sometimes they'll send music to you, but also some people request that they show up in dreams. I've done that as well, like, hey, can you just show up in my dreams instead? Might take a while for that to happen, but eventually it probably will.
F you, right? This didn't happen to me, but a very nice old man and his wife used to live a few streets over from us. Well, she got very sick and his son flew in to help watch and care for her. A few weeks later, she moved to hospice and later died. The night she died, her husband and son drove home and they were talking about what to do for the funeral. And the husband asked, do you think she'd want XYZ person to attend? And they both said they heard the dead mom/wife in the back seat say, no, thank you.
Oh my gosh, that's honestly kind of funny and cute. Yeah, so this one is like hilarious because it just shows that like the spirit was just hit chilling, just like listening in, and gave their 2 cents. And it's also kind of a good indication like, hey, they're still there, they're around you. But also it's interesting because it brings up the like, does spirit care about how they're buried? And honestly, most of the time they don't, unless it means something special to you. They are already where they're going to be happy and safe. So they see their body as a temporary vessel again. They don't have as much attachment, if any at all. So yeah.
Embarrassed Bar 2869 writes, in high school, I was getting peer pressured into doing something I didn't want to do and would have gone in a lot of trouble had a teacher come by, but I felt like I didn't have a choice. I remember asking in my head, if I have a guardian angel right now, please pull the fire alarm or something. I kid you not, at that exact sound, the fire alarm went off. This never happened in my school. It was so unlikely. I didn't expect it to actually happen. Nearly shit my pants. We immediately went to the assembly area along with the rest of the school, and I got out of that situation. Turns out at that moment, someone in the school had accidentally triggered the fire alarm. I spent the rest of the day in shock, honestly. I don't know if this counts as supernatural, but what even are the chances? That day introduced me to the idea of guardian angels, and I have had many similar occasions since then where just in the nick of time, I've gotten out of potentially extremely bad situations, either due to insane luck or the nudge of something looking out for me.
Wow, that's a very, like, I don't know, uplifting kind of story, or stories, because a lot of people do feel, because life's so hard, that they're abandoned by their team, that they don't have anyone looking out for them. There's nothing out there at all. And when they're dead, they're just going to be in a void, like void of consciousness and all that. But there's so many people out there who've experienced stuff like this. Some people say, oh, it was a guardian angel or a guide or whatever. And, in this person's case, it seems like an important part of their life path was the constant reaffirmation that, in fact, their guide or guardian angel or whatever was there for them. And we all have them. Just because this person is aware of them doesn't mean that it makes them special. Perhaps they're more perceptive, but also it could just be part of what they've meant to experience, to have a more, these more kind of in your face events. Perhaps that's to help them, kind of grow on their path. But honestly, a lot of people tell me, I can't hear my guide. I don't think I'll ever be able to. And I'm like, that's not important for you to hear that or have something happen in the way like this person's describing. What's most important is you feel them and that you know that they're there. Honestly, they're working behind the scenes, pulling fire alarms, whether you know it or not. Just because they happen to do something really loud and in alignment with that person thought doesn't mean that, yours is like slacking on the job or not there.
And for someone, let's say, who's, I think all of us at one point or another have hit rock bottom, and we kind of forget that we have a team if they exist, what is something that you would recommend, like a phrase or something, how they can ask for help?
It's seriously so simple. It's almost as simple as abracadabra. Like, truly, you just saying like, wow, I really wish someone was out there to help me is enough to really, that they're hearing that they're there all the time. But if you want to continue to strengthen your bond and kind of take more of an active role in developing a communication or an awareness with your guides and angels and all of that, then, you can say like, I'm ready to become, more acquainted with your energy. I would like to get to know you more, to your guides. I'd like to get to know my guides and my angels and my, family up above more. But I'm really going through a tough time right now, and I am very much in need of help, and I'm open to the signs and directions that you provide me, and with much gratitude. You could do that if you want, but honestly, when you're in need, a little beacon goes out automatically. It's just like they can tell your energy is in distress. So yeah, it's really more simple than people think.
And don't forget, we're going to include the link down below, but our blog and our website have many resources. And one of the top questions we get is, how do I get in touch and communicate? What are ways I can connect and talk to my spirit guides and angels, and what the difference between them are?
Yes.
Well, that's all for today's episode. And if you want to learn more about spirit guides, angels, the afterlife, and dive deep into it, make sure to visit our website and click on our blog at thehappyhealingshop.com. And we also offer courses such as developing your intuition and psychic abilities, Reiki, which is a form of energy healing, and so much more. So make sure to check that out. And if you'd like to help continue supporting us in what we do, make sure to click on the link down below to join our membership. We appreciate so much.